welcome to Talk Sport tonight. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, fans.
Hello,
good evening,
and
football
welcome to Talk
Sport
all
podcast
over the world.
This is Talk Sports podcast from the studios of
your ultimate destination for global stories, expert analysis, and fan engagement. Today we got a packed lineup covering breaking managerial changes, player comebacks, stadium drama, injury concerns, and anti-racism initiatives. Plus, crucial World Cup qualifiers across Africa.
Breaking down
Let's dive straight in and welcome. My name is Yinka Adebuye, popularly called Doc around here, and I'll be taking you through this side of this Talk Sport. And with me tonight, I have Polo right here with me.
Arsenal versus Man City showdown coming up on the 24th of September. Joining me here tonight are wonderful minds and great analysts. From my left here, immediately here, I have Polo. You're welcome, Polo.
Good evening, viewers. Good evening, guys. Thanks for having me. So excited to be back here once again. It's the weekend.
Thank you, Polo, and thank you, viewers. Thank you, fans. Thank you, football lovers all over the world for joining us at Premier Sports Fan Center for tonight. This is Talk Sport once more for this edition, and we have a number of wonderful, fantastic, tantalizing subjects to talk about this evening. You can join us on Facebook or YouTube. You can put your comment in the segment reserved for that, and then let's hear your thoughts and opinions on some of these issues we're discussing. If you agree with it, just put it there. Agree and put your explanation. If you want to tackle us, go ahead and tackle us. And then, should there be any reason for concern, please put your questions in the comment section. We'll be very, very pleased to hear from you. And straight we go on into the first part of Talk Sport for tonight. We're looking at the managerial shake-up at Nottingham Forest. The whirlwind 24 hours in the last few hours, Nottingham Forest have replaced Nuno Espirito dos Santo with Ange Postecoglou from Tottenham. The Australian coach freshly from the stint with Tottenham has signed a deal, and we know he had a terrible run last season with Tottenham, finishing number 15th or 14th or 15th on the league table, and then straight down to Nottingham Forest, who finished top 7 last season. Forest are buzzing about whether this gamble will pay off, especially with the club fighting to stay competitive. You know, they're trying to fight to stay in Champions League. They've been playing in Europe this season, and they need to remain in Europe. But will this gamble pay off? So the first question here, Paulo, I want you to help me with this. Was this rapid managerial change a sign of ambition,
now
or panic from the management of Nottingham Forest?
I think
United needs a result to win to stay in top 4 conversation, while Chelsea are desperate to string together back-to-back wins to remain contenders and proper EPL rulers. Tactically, this could be a battle between the structure and hang built for Amorim and what Chelsea is aggressively putting together in their pressing game. So I'm going to go from here, taking Polo first. What do you think? Do you think between the two of them,
either one of them, and you see the owner, charging onto the field, to confront the manager, since then the issue has been there and there. But the manager everything, Manchester United qualify for Manchester United. I believe that they initially qualified for the Conference League. They are in the Europa League as a result of the Crystal Palace issue with UEFA. That is why they are in the Europa League. And if you watch to last season, I think the last 10 league matches, they were in the position to qualify for the Champions League, but due to background of form, distraction from the manager and the owner, the ongoing saga, they couldn't hold on to the Champions League spot and drop them. But this season so far, they've not started. They've not had bad starts to me, because they've won one, I think drawn one and lost one. Look at correct. And it's just that right now they sacked the manager after just 3 games. So I don't think it's about I think it's about the indifferences between the manager and the ownership. We're talking about the owners of Nottingham Forest. So I think it's first one has to go, and who needs to go is the manager that needs to go.
Thank you very much. So
from this angle, are we saying that look, it's not for tactical reasons,
what you heard
it's
from
not
wonderful analyst
panic button from management. It's not even for ambition. It's just for personal difference reasons. And that's so sad for Nottingham. If you ask me, what kind of tactics do you expect to see changing with Postecoglou coming in here?
Well, it's going to be a very difficult one because we saw Postecoglou with Tottenham. 2 seasons he spent there, and Tottenham were shipping in goals left, right, centers.
And he doesn't know how to below 10 both seasons.
He doesn't know how to defend at all. He prefers playing eye-line. And you look at teams like Nottingham Forest under the Santo, they are very hard to
from South America,
before you get to go against them, it's always very difficult.
They have margins of wins, just one margin in over 12 matches.
Yeah, and now you are bringing in a man that doesn't know how to defend. I think it's going to destabilize the team, first of all, because unless the new manager, I'm talking about Postecoglou, is ready to change his tactics,
all over the world.
And
this feature has been one of the Premier League most iconic from Mourinho versus Ferguson. Mind games from minute to minute, drama all over the place. It has always carried so much weight. Fans still debate whether this rivalry is underappreciated compared to United versus Liverpool and Chelsea versus Arsenal. Now let's take it from here now. Where does Man U and Chelsea rank among
Nottingham Forest
top rivalries?
Their fans are in for a long season.
Wow, that's a very challenging one for me too. I just can't put it together. You sack the coach who got you to 6th place on the log, and then you replace him with a coach who finished with number 14 or 15th on the log.
Yeah, and even the manager that was sacked, I think he's still their best coach in the last probably 30, 40 years.
I think ever.
No, probably you might talk about maybe in the last, let's say
at least in the last 30-40 years, before the era where they won Champions League and the rest of them. So Nottingham Forest is actually in need right now. They have a big challenge in their hands. But can Angel stabilize that team? Can he build a long-term project? Does he have the capacity to build a project that can last Nottingham Forest now that he's in charge?
I don't think so, because you look at you have the likes of Tottenham, where you have
I remember there was this
a bigger club than Nottingham Forest, and there's money for him to spend there. A lot of he has a lot of freedom. He couldn't stabilize the team. He couldn't build the team. There were a lot of injuries, this and that. And look at the way Spurs were just going down in free fall. Now you're bringing to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, that we know that the owner is even more tougher than the owners of Tottenham Hotspur. The Nottingham Forest owner is a no-nonsense man. He doesn't take trash. Even if he was the one the owner of Tottenham Hotspur, I don't think Ange Postecoglou would have even spent 2 seasons as Spurs.
And so you heard it from Polo, you heard it from Yamite, and right now let's zoom in straight in on Chelsea since Todd Boehly took over Chelsea.
So we saw what happened with the manager that brought them to managerial changes and this Steve Cooper now. It didn't even last long before he was dismissed.
Under Maresca,
it wasn't even having that kind of bad form that
still stuck in
Postecoglou was having at Tottenham before he was let go. So I don't think
we're in the same bracket. We actually don't think from here that Ange is going to make any difference. We don't think that he's going to be able to solve the problem of long-term building a project for Nottingham Forest. So all of us in Nottingham Forest, we move on straight to the next segment, and we're looking at a return to emotional league, an emotional return of Oliver Giroud to the Ligue 1. He started from the Ligue 1, found himself all over the place in the Premiership for several years, and then he's back to Ligue 1 now. Oliver Giroud, the French legend, has returned home, signing for Lille and becoming their oldest ever scorer. after netting his debut goal in a friendly encounter. At the age of 38, he's showing no signs of slowing down, and his leadership could be crucial for Lily's young squad. Remember, Oliver Giroud is a World Cup winner, and he has that medal that so many thousands of players don't have. So this guy is a legend for France and is back in France. So the big question here is this: how big of an impact do we expect from Giroud in that Lily squad in Ligue 1 for this season?
Well, I don't expect much impact from him. He's a great player, and Ligue 1, I think he was one-time top
which player is Chelsea's real leader on the pitch, and they have enough personalities to compete at the top level?
And coming back now at the age of 38 to
captain himself,
France from the MLS. We saw him at the Club World Cup recently concluded in the US. Coming back to France,
overall, I think he has more
his playing days are beginning to be numbered. I don't see him, after leaving Lille now, going to any other country. Probably the next move now will be another lower.
Very long time with Chelsea. I think it's from even the academy. Yes. So no any other person other than him, and probably might look like also Enzo Fernandez. But I think Enzo Fernandez, is too, is it temperamental, for him to be, the real leader there. But I think it's Reece James.
No, when you mention temperament, maybe you are talking about Bruno Fernandes.
No, Enzo too.
Enzo is not temperamental. If there's one player that is temperamental in Chelsea, it's not Enzo.
Where?
I think that's maybe he's trying to say Bruno.
No, I know what I'm saying.
I know what I'm saying about Enzo.
I don't. Okay, for instance, if you check how many yellow card or red card,
it's not just about being yellow card only.
If you
see the way
if you have temper issues in football, you will get a lot of cards.
But not all. But we've seen the likes of Pepe, playing,
Pepe has a lot of red and yellow cards.
Pepe does not have too many red cards.
He has a lot of yellow cards.
Which even Casemiro.
Real Madrid has always been
even
a sacred
no. I don't agree, because Sergio Ramos too was a Madrid player and is the player with the highest number of red cards.
Yeah, so let's talk about Pepe. What about Pepe?
Okay,
Pepe
so guys, we're going to run that debate forever if we stay there. Enzo Fernandez is one leader we have in Chelsea after Reece James, and as it is right now, I think Enzo Fernandez commands more playing time than Reece James now. Hear me?
Yeah.
Do you think Reece James is dropping in performance, or the coach is just can't find a place to put him all the time?
It's not that. Reece James the coach is trying to manage time, playing time with him, because he has shown to have a lot of injury record history, and also the coach is just trying to be sensitive with managing his minutes. Not really big of a deal.
All right, so guys, you heard it from us right here from the studio for the first time ever. Premier Sports Fans in that says that Reece James is not receding in quality. Reece James is just being managed. The coach is trying to manage. He has several quality players, and then he has to put some on the bench and keep some strong legs for EPL, for Carabao, for FA Cup, and then for Champions League. So it's not about how many of them he plays together. He can field more than 11 players at a time. Chelsea, we've always known, have always been a club associated with ambition, fat success, and ruthless decisions. Some argue that what made them great, others think it's holding them back right now. Do Chelsea need to be patient with Maresca, or to build about building something lasting, or is it the ruthless approach that Ibrahimovic used to apply to Chelsea that is still going to work here?
First off, you are saying Pepe didn't get it. Pepe got 17 red cards, and is small. And he also got 210 yellow cards.
Okay, so that's a lot. But let's go to Chelsea.
Back to Chelsea. I don't know where this conversation of Enzo is coming from, because he's current world champion. So if you talk about success, he has been successful already. So he just needs to build on the success he has had. So I don't think that is any. If there's any manager that's close to exit, there is no Enzo Maresca.
So you believe his job is secure right now,
very
and he can as well keep building. Polo, in 5 years, you see Chelsea as Premier League title favorite again, or they will still remain in transition in another 5 years?
It depends on how the transition continue to grow, because we've seen with Manchester United, since Sir Alex Ferguson left, they've been in transition from one manager to another. It depends.
11 years now.
Yeah, it depends. So because if you let Enzo Maresca go, you are bringing in another manager. That means you are starting another phase of transition. So it depends. If Chelsea is still going to stick with Enzo Maresca, I don't think 5 years is too much. He's been there for a year now, and if they are still going to stick with him with the next 2-3 seasons, I think they should be in the conversation for it.
Wow, so you'll hear it from us right here. So you can put your comments in the comment section. You can put it on YouTube. You can put that on Facebook. Watch us and share. Like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends about Premier Sports Fan Center. Right now, we move straight to the next topic here. Arsenal versus Manchester City preview. Roll the drums. We know Manchester City has won so many EPL in the last 10 years, and Arsenal is yet to win so many of them, or perhaps one. Anyway, Sunday's blockbuster sees Arsenal hosting Manchester City, a match that could have serious implications. And Arsenal are looking sharp this season, with Arsenal's Arteta's maturing and adding depth, while City are dealing with a growing list of injury. But they remain contentious, in the competition, because under Guardiola, you can't predict. Anything can happen. This fixture has become the new title rivalry over the past 2 seasons, and we've seen Arsenal, City deciding where the League Cup goes. Arsenal's new midfield looks dominant, and their defense has been solid. City, in the meantime, have shown vulnerability with injuries, and key players like John Stone, Al Nouri, Ryan Cherky, and now Omar Mamouche are all out based on injury. Can Arsenal finally turn their good performances against City into the current consistent wins that they need? Now, I'm going to go from Paul here. Does Arsenal now have the mental edge over City, or is Pep still going to use his tactical abilities over Arsenal?
Well, I think we have the mental edge now over Man City, starting from last season. I think it's in about 2 seasons or more now. Manchester City have failed to defeat us, and last season was the first time I think we took all. No, not last season. Last 2 seasons we won them at the Emirates, and last season we also defeated them at the Emirates. So I expect Arsenal to do it, 3 in a row now. So, but if you ask me overall, I think Arsenal have what it takes now to defeat this Manchester City.
Right. So Mike, who is the one player that could decide this clash? Haaland, Odegaard, or someone else? Saka is out.
Yeah,
but we have what's his name? We have Noni. We have the new striker from Sporting. We have Gyökeres. We have Eze. We have all this. So who's likely going to decide this game?
I think number one is the 2 strikers. They both have solid points, but Gyökeres and Haaland. Then the supply cast, depending on who supplies the ball. And you can see that Phil Foden is gradually going into the Phil Foden that led Man City to their last league title that they won. So I think that, you can talk about Erling Haaland, Gyökeres, Phil Foden, then you have to mention Iberichi.
Right, so you need to put those guys in contention, and you need to get them on your head. You need to actually expect and look forward to seeing these guys perform their magic on that day. September 21 is the date. Arsenal is taking on City, and both are fighting for the Premiership. And we move on. The game could be a decider in disguise. Arsenal and City have replaced Liverpool versus City as the league's most tactical rivalry. Fans love the chess game between Arteta and Pep, the student and the master. And the issue here is this: as Arsenal versus City officially become the Premier League's defining title rivalry?
Well, I don't think so. I think if you look at Manchester City, it's a team that everybody wants to beat. Everybody wants to beat them, because of how they've, been handling things for the past 3, 4, 5 seasons ago. But if you ask me, I think for Arsenal, as an Arsenal fan also, I think Liverpool should be the deciding factor between for us as an Arsenal fan, because you look at Manchester City now, I don't think they are in a position to really delay our chances of winning the league. But if you ask me about Liverpool, I think Liverpool is the main deal for us.
Right. So I want you to answer this pretty critically, and from your angle and experience of the EPL, do you think, based on Arsenal's history, what do you think a win here could mean psychologically for Arsenal players concerning their statement to leave the EPL after how many years? 24?
No, 22.
Yep.
First
22 years.
I think 2 seasons ago, Arsenal broke out of that Guardiola menace, psychological thing that they went through, losing back to back to Guardiola for some time. And this Arsenal has come of age. Okay. You can say last season they were brutal against City, which was massive for their confidence. But when you look at where Arsenal was and where they are right now, I think now Arteta has no excuse if he doesn't win the league this season. But I don't envy him, because teams too have grown. I don't think it's Man City that is their big challenger this season. I think it's Liverpool, because the first choice this season has to be Liverpool, because those guys, if you see the way they have taken the games they've taken, as a champion you just have to win. Anyhow, you just have to find a way out. And they still, even to Champions League, you saw how the Atletico came back and they still found a way out. So with that mentality, it's very difficult to stop them. So I don't think Arsenal Man City is the title decider any longer. It is now between Liverpool and Arsenal. And it's now advantage Liverpool, because Liverpool has won the first leg.
Right, so advantage Liverpool. Liverpool got a first leg winner at the 80th minute by that wonderful, beautiful, unbelievable goal by Szoboszlai. It was a free kick that went to the record that week. I think it was the goal of the week. And that was a fantastic winner. And just one man could just decide the game. Now we're going into a weekend full of surprises, full of drama, filled with giants. Chelsea is going to face United. United is trying to creep out of their coven and come and show their face, and Chelsea's right there at the top. They just came back from the exploits from the World Club Cup, bearing the cup for the first time and carrying it on their chest boldly. How proud are you about that? Mate?
When you support a club,
I saw the smile on your face. It was like, I just gave you ice cream.
When you support a club that's won it all, a club that there's no trophy that you can now be so intimidating to them with, and like, oh, what's this? We've won this before.
Can
what's
you
that?
Imagine? See pride.
And the most important part now is that there's no other team that's won the Club World Cup, and there's no other team that will wear that badge for 4 years. Mind you, they are now talking to FIFA to make it 2 years. So that will mean that it is only Chelsea that will wear that badge for 4 years, which no other team will do.
Can you imagine? Chelsea setting records and breaking their own records.
That's what we do.
So you're so proud and you're feeling like ice here, like you're glazing on ice.
Yeah, that's
how 7.
It's a Chelsea feeling. We are not. Chelsea is not mediocre like some teams that used to defend their mediocrity. I don't want to mention the red side of London, but not London to be precise. But they used to defend their mediocrity a lot. But we go brutal even on our own players when they don't do well. Now the coaches, no time. But when the mentality produces the right result, then you just have to change.
So Chelsea fans they actually have starch on their shoulders.
You can't blame them.
They're moving around like they're riding on horses and gliding on ice as we speak. Paulo, how do you fancy the chances of Arsenal this weekend in the wrap-up?
Well, I believe it's not. It's a big game between like you said, the teacher and the student. And for us now, a lot of advantage will be on our side because we'll be playing at home also, and the last two meeting in the league has gone in at the Emirates there has gone in favor of Arsenal. And you look at how Arsenal have been playing this season, though we've not been at our very best this season so far, but you could see there's progress. And one thing that has been going for Arsenal this season is the defensive part of Arsenal. It's for you to get a goal against Arsenal, it's always very difficult. And the only goal Arsenal have considered this season is that outrageous free kick from Domis Szoboszlai. I think if you look at it overall, I think Arsenal has all it takes, and I'm very confident that we're definitely going to win.
So you fancy your chances of getting 3 points at the Emirates against City? You heard it there, and that's a wrap for you guys for tonight's Talk Sport podcast. We previewed Manchester United versus Chelsea and dug straight into Chelsea's identity crisis, breaking down the massive Arsenal versus Man City clash. We also, to every one of us watching on YouTube or Facebook, we want your thoughts. Who wins at Old Trafford tomorrow? Put that in the comment section. Be part of the show. We're going to read that in our next week's episode. Can Chelsea get back to being title contenders? Put it down there. Whatever you believe, put it in the comment section. Engage with us, interact with us. And is this finally the season Arsenal can dethrone City or Liverpool and get enthroned as the EPL Kings? Drop your comments, drop your answers, all in the comment section. Like the video if you enjoyed the discussion, and subscribe so you don't miss out our post-match breakdown. From me right here, my name again is Yinka Debuyi. They call me Doki around here. And Paulo.
Yeah, so like I said at the beginning, so excited that we are the weekend now, and the fixtures are coming right from lunchtime tomorrow. We'll be seeing the Merseyside derby. There are a lot of derbies coming on over the weekend, so can't wait for it to get started.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, so good to be on the show today again, and it has been an exciting edition. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Thank you for tuning in. This is Talk Sport podcast once more from Premier Sports Fan Center, where football lives. And please keep loving the game of football. Enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.
Oh, another goal for Super Eagles.
Good evening, fans all over the world. Premier Sports Fan Center right here, beaming out to you. Analysis, in-depth discussion, talking sport, and talking about what's going on in Premiership right now. The English Premiership is on, and we apologize for starting this transmission pretty late. Conditions of weather and technicalities actually stood in our way of starting early. We appreciate you viewers for standing there. My name is Yinka Adegbuyi. Friends call me the Doc around here. And I will be hosting you for this segment, looking at Arsenal versus Newcastle Football Club. Newcastle United hosting Arsenal Football Club right now. And the game, as it is right now, is already in the 20th minute. And Arsenal just missed the chance to go ahead with an advantage by a penalty kick, as the referee declared no penalty for Arsenal, and that just happened in the last 2 minutes. There was a contact with the goalkeeper and Gyökeres, and the referee said no, the keeper had a touch on the ball before he made a contact with Gyökeres, and that disallowed the penalty kick. And now everybody's back on level terms. Arsenal playing and Newcastle attacking, trying to get back a pound of flesh from Arsenal right here. But Arsenal will say no, they move on forward. Send the longish one to Gyökeres again forward. What does he do? He holds it and he tries to control play while he tries to move things forward. Now the ball has gone into touch for a throw-in to Arsenal Football Club of London. Right now this game is going on, and this game is now at the 21st minute, and we're expecting things to happen. We're expecting to see fireworks here. This is a game that bookmakers have expected to have many goals, at least +2 or 2+/2 in this kind of encounter. But right now, even at the 21st minute, we still haven't seen any goal in this encounter. So, but we will continue to wait, because we're expecting, and we're really expectant of the goals to come in. And by the time they start coming in, we're sure the goals will not be disappointing. They're going to keep flacking them in. And right now, so the goalkeeper of Arsenal, David Raya, will try and move things forward. A longish one into the midfield. Sends a longish one to Gyökeres in front, who connects other players, and the ball comes to the midfield. Arsenal trying to control play again. The ball is right at Saka's feet. What does Saka do? He tries to cross, but it wouldn't go in from a block from the Newcastle defender. And now the game time is about 22 minutes. We're now at the 22nd, 23rd minute of the game. And Arsenal has a chance from the corner. Let's take a look at a few statistics, a few data of this game. We're going to look at the lineup of this game. First of all, I'm going to be taking you through certain events also happening in the world of football, not just with Arsenal right here, but in other centers as well. So we're looking at the game between Arsenal and Newcastle right there in London. Arsenal has a chance to go ahead, a longish one, really longish one, and goes way above everybody. But Arsenal will try to rebuild and try to put more attack on Newcastle. But Newcastle will wrestle that one down. And the free kick has been awarded to Arsenal right at the 23rd minute of the game. Arsenal has another chance to take a free kick at Rice's position. This must be the place where he cooks. He cooked for Real Madrid at the spot before. He has cooked for other clubs. Let's see if he can cook for Newcastle here. Mount Rice right there. Declan Rice looking at cooking for Newcastle United at that spot. But while we're at that, we're going to take a look once again at what's going on here. Who are the people representing Arsenal here? Who are the guys who on whose shoulders this game will be determined on? Rice stands on top. It takes a longish one into the 18. A header, and oh no, that was just off the line into touch for a throw-in. A goal kick to Newcastle United. It was a good network of passes, but there was no good finishing. It didn't happen for Arsenal right there. Wherever you're watching from, I want you to subscribe. Put your click on our bell handle and subscribe to Premier Sports Fan Center, and you will get our information updates and analysis and even recorded matches. You'll get them live as we dish them out, and the reminders will come to you for upcoming matches and events. So don't hesitate, click on the subscribe button, and there's a join button also there. You can click on the join button to be part of the family right there on our YouTube page. Or you can as well go to Facebook and be one of our followers on Facebook, Premier Sports Fan Center. Remember, that's the name of the handle. And now we're looking at the lineup for Arsenal. Arsenal is attacking right now. A chance for Arsenal. Hey, that was the crossbar. Woodworks. Oh my goodness, that was so close. Arsenal could have gone ahead by a goal there, but the Woodworks denied Arsenal. Beautiful shot there from Arsenal, but it wouldn't go into the post. Leonardo Trossard was the man who did that, but he couldn't get that in the net. Oh, he rules his chances right now. He's feeling sorry for himself. This is the second chance Trossard will have, and will be rude. And we'll see the build up again from Saka, and then go straight into the midfield, and the ball gets to Trossard, and Trossard will take a shot, denied by the Woodwork, not the goalkeeper, nothing else. Maybe some spirit on the wood anyway, but Arsenal will not get a goal right here. So we're looking at the lineup for Arsenal here. David Raya in goal, and then we're looking at the back line made of Calafori on the left back. We have Mayalas, Manganios in the center with Mosquera, and then Julian Timber all from the right back. And then right in front of them we have Martin Zubimendi and Declan Rice holding the pivot positions for Arsenal today. And then in front of them we have Bukayo Saka, Berechese, as well as Leonardo Trossard in this encounter. And of course, leading the pack of attack here, no one else but the Gyökeres, the man with the Gedmuller Trophy, the latest winner of the Gedmuller Trophy in the Ballon d'Or, the man who scored most goals in Europe throughout last season. He scored most number of goals, and his name is Gyökeres. Gyökeres Victor is the one leading the pack of the attack of Arsenal. And so far so good. 26th minute of the game, Gyökeres is yet to record a goal. He had a close chance. He could have got a penalty. There was a contact, but the VAR will say no against the referee's call. And the referee had to agree with VAR eventually that there was no penalty. If you look at the squad for Newcastle United, let's see who are being paraded here. We have in post for Newcastle, Nick Pope right here. And then we have Livramento, Malik Theo, Sven Botman, Dan Bourne holding the defense line for Newcastle. Arsenal with a chance, a shot deflected and pushed out, going away. That was a shot from a Berechese. Beautiful chance from Arsenal. He took a shot with his weak foot, and that was blocked by the Newcastle defender, and then goes into touch for a throw-in. Arsenal will have a chance to run at Newcastle again. Calafori trying to get his hands dried up before the throw, and he's going to get his hand dried up before the throw so he could throw a longish one into the 18 of Newcastle United. Calafori right here has been reprimanded by the referee that he should drop the rag or the jersey, the towel he took from the floor, not part of the play, and use his hand to wipe the ball. The ball comes into the 18 of Newcastle. Arsenal takes a shot. Oh no, the goalkeeper saves it. The woodwork helps him. And the ball goes into touch for a throw-in again. Oh, a throw-in for Arsenal. Beautiful shot from Arsenal. But keeper was able to put his hand to it, and I think the crossbar also helped him a bit. Yes, the crossbar supported the goalkeeper. Both of them worked against Arsenal there, not going to let one in so fast. Oh, this is very trying for Arsenal. I can see the fury. I can see the disappointments. You can actually touch it that these players are getting anxious. 29th minute and nothing is in the post of Newcastle. And Arsenal, who wants to win the trophy, are not happy about this. They are not happy about this at all. They want to defend and contend for the Premiership against the leaders, Liverpool, who invariably lost their first match. The first loss in the season. They have played 6 and 7 matches, and they just lost one of them. And that very remarkable record they had just before yesterday, but that was wiped off by the loss they incurred yesterday. And Newcastle will lose for the first time, and Arsenal has a chance to close the gap a bit, at least to the next 2 points should they win today. But should Arsenal lose or draw, the gap will remain where it is. 5 points in between them and the league leaders. So for Newcastle, we're seeing the back line and we're looking at the middle field. Bruno Guimaraes, Sandro Tonsil, Jolinton hold the midfield for Newcastle, while Jacob Murphy, Nick Waltermaid and Anthony Gordon are holding the front line. Nick Waltermaid, the striker, the German striker, is topping the attack for Newcastle here, and we expect him to do wonders for Newcastle. Prolific striker, if you ask me. And but we also have Jolinton, who is a wonderful striker too. He's a very good support striker, but he puts in one himself. And Arsenal keeps fighting here, but the goalkeeper has the ball. Nick Pope will pick up the ball and throw a longish one for a quick counter-attack, the Newcastle. But David Raya will step out of his area and take a longish shot back and out of his area into the half of Newcastle. The ball has gone into touch for a throw-in to Newcastle right now. Game time is 30 minutes. We have now played for 30 minutes, and in the 31st minute of this encounter, Newcastle 0, Arsenal Football Club 0. And let's take a look at the bench here and see those players who might help, because we can see Arteta here. Arteta is actually on his feet. He's already sweating it out in the cold. It's raining so much out there, but Arteta is not feeling the cold. He's warm inside and outside, and he's even showing by sweat. Saka will attack from here. Saka takes a shot, but Pope will deny him once more. Oh, what an attack from Saka. He took it right from his own half and runs the length of the Newcastle half. Gets to the 10-yard mark before taking a shot with his weak foot. And that will be saved by Nick Pope and punched away into a corner kick. And Arsenal will have a chance to attack again from the corner spot. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers and fans world over, I want to tell you that this is a cracker of a match. This is a match to decide what happens in the EPL. Right now, Arsenal, on the log of the EPL, is sitting at... Arsenal is sitting right there on the log at number 3. If it ends in a draw. However, if Arsenal wins this, they go on to 13 points, and they will be sitting in the second place ahead of New Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace moved up the ladder when they defeated Liverpool yesterday. Crystal Palace defeated Liverpool, and then they moved up the ladder to second place, while Liverpool remains in first place with 15 points. Arsenal now at 11 points, and now the third place. Tottenham Hotspur, 11 points also at the fourth place, and Sunderland, 11 points at the fifth place. Also AFC Bournemouth at 11 points at the sixth position. Manchester City will follow with 10 points at the seventh position, and then follow the crew of 8 pointers: Chelsea, Brighton, Fulham, and Leeds United. Chelsea. Chelsea. World leaders, World Club Cup winners, European Conference League winners. They are the only club that have won all the European leg of tournaments. They won the Champions League, the Europa League, the Conference League, and now the World Club Cup. So much that FIFA had to give them, UEFA had to give them something for that. Chelsea. Chelsea was beaten once again yesterday, humiliated at Stamford Bridge by Brighton and Hove. Brighton and Hove seem to have married Chelsea, absolutely, because they keep beating Chelsea home and away. Last season they had a roll of that, and they have begun again. So we actually thought that was going to be broken, and that's a goal to Newcastle. Beautiful header. Newcastle gets one ahead of Arsenal Football Club, and who will do that other than the goal poacher himself, the wonder man from Germany, Walter Maid. Oh my goodness, that was a wonderful, unexpected header, and the defense of Arsenal had no solution to that. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And the players are still confused. They are not sure what's going on. They are still confused, and they are saying, he pushed me. He pushed him. No, he pushed somebody. Referee has to look at that. You need to check VAR because he pushed somebody. But the referee is not looking yet. If VAR comes to him, he will look at it. But right now, the goal stands. Oh my goodness. Oh, there was a slight push, definitely, but it was a light push. It was a very light push. The referees might consider that too little to be blown as a free kick, because football is not absolutely a non-contact sport. Football is a contact sport. You're allowed to make a little contact. Although there was a push there, and if VAR considered it, they might cancel that goal. But as it stands right now on the scoreboard, we can see clearly Newcastle Football Club is leading Arsenal by 1-0. Oh my God. NFC leads here 1-0. Oh my goodness. Arsenal fans are not expecting this. The whole world is not sure this will happen, but some are happy about it. I'm sure Chelsea fans are so happy. They are singing praises right now to whoever made that goal happen, to humble Arsenal. Gabriel is there, and he's arguing with the referee as well. Gabriel Manganes cannot believe his eyes. He was right there to defend it. But trust Arsenal, they will try and get their own goal back. They are fighters. They have been doing this for ages. They will fight until the end of the game. They're going to fight on the blow of the whistle. So Arsenal sits on number 7 with Newcastle leading. Arsenal has just been dropped back to 10 points, and they are now number 7th on the log of the Premiership, right in front of Newcastle that is leading them. Arsenal has a chance. No. The header was wayward and went towards the corner flag. And Arsenal will try to pick again, because Newcastle players will not see any form of football around their goal area, and they send that longish one away. Oh, there was a slight push, but it was a weak push. There was a weak push on Timber. He went down too easily. He should have stood the ground to contest for that rather than go down looking for referee support. That usually doesn't happen. The referee was supposed to check VAR for that, but oh no, they wouldn't check VAR. They let the goal be. And Arteta is not happy about that. Mikel Arteta says to the referee, so you're not going to check the television? And the guy says, well, we'll think about it. Say, you better check it. But eventually they didn't check VAR. They just let it be. And Newcastle leads Arsenal right now. Oh my goodness. This game is becoming something else. Something else. Something else. And Arsenal is on the back foot. They will try and attack again. Arsenal before now has played more of the football. But who has scored more goals and who has made more impact here? That is Newcastle United. Newcastle United have done more defensively than attack. But the little chance they have, or they had, they've been clinical in front of goal post. Let's take a look at the statistics so far in this encounter. Oh my goodness. Arsenal shots on target 4, Newcastle 3. And then we're looking at block shots, 2 for Arsenal, 1 for Newcastle. Saka will try again, teases one to his teammate, and the foul has been pushed down, but referee says ball advantage, you can play on. And the ball comes to Arsenal player who has been wrestled off the ball, and Newcastle will try and move the ball forward, but the referee says no, there will be a free kick there. There's a foul on the Newcastle player, and it's against Arsenal Football Club. Oh, compounding the woes of Arsenal is this referee. what or who is going to save this club right now. How will they survive this? Should they lose this game? It will be a certain level of disaster for them. Shots off target have been 2 for Arsenal and none for Newcastle. And then we have a possession, 54% for Arsenal and 46% for Newcastle United. And as it stands, fouls have been 1 for Arsenal, 2 for Newcastle. Newcastle has a chance again in the 18 of Arsenal. And they're still playing in the 18 of Arsenal. Walter has the ball. It is his opponent, and the ball comes to his teammate across into the dangerous area of Arsenal. And no, that was headed out by Gabriel. Mongales sent that out, and Arsenal will rebuild again. Arsenal has a chance going forward. Attacking is Hyokores Victor. What does he do? He tries to take his opponent out, but no, he was too smart for him. Newcastle defense will pick the ball and move forward. As it sits right now, the game is still in favor of Newcastle. Goalkeeper saves have been 2 for Arsenal and 4 for Newcastle. And crosses have been 4 for Arsenal and 3 for Newcastle right now. So the game is rather balanced, but with Arsenal with more possession and more attacking statistics, but the results are in favor of Newcastle as it is. And we have a break. A foul has been blown, and the Newcastle player is on the floor being attended to, and the players will relax a little bit. Game time now is at the 42nd minute, and oh no, how would they settle this? There was a contact between Gabriel and Walter there, but the player refused to go down, and he warned Gabriel not to do that again. But Gabriel would deny any form of misconduct, and they are talking, exchanging words with themselves while the break is going on. So we're looking at what happened earlier before this Arsenal match, and ladies and gentlemen, I have to be honest with you. Fulham was beaten blue-black by Aston Villa at the Villa Park. Villa Park hosted Fulham, and they led them into a ham. They defeated them hamfully, and then they rendered Fulham 0 points from that encounter. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 3. And goals from that match was scored by Watkins. Oleg Watkins scored the first one, and then you have McGinn and Brenda scoring for Aston Villa, while Jimenez will put one back for Fulham. So Fulham gets nothing from there, while Aston Villa move up the ladder by getting all the 3 points in that encounter. Also, let's take a look at what's happening in other leagues, and particularly I'm interested in the Nigerian league. Shooting Stars Football Club of Ibadan has been hosting the Warri Wolves counterpart, and there was a goal that just came in the last 1 minute. Warri Wolves scored a goal. Warri Wolves has offset. They have put an upset goal against Shooting Stars Football Club right now. Warri Wolves lead by 1-0. The goal came in at the 52nd minute of the game. Warri Wolves leading there against Shooting Stars Football Club. Kun Khalifa is leading. Is playing a draw with Barao, 1-1 as we speak. Nasarawa United 1, Katsina United 0. That is in Nasarawa. Warri Wolves is leading 1 ahead of Shooting Stars of Ibadan. Wiki Tourist 1, Enugu Rangers 1, and Ikorodu City and Enyimba. Those are giants in Nigerian football. They will be coming on later at 5:30. That match will start at 5:30. That will be last Nigerian Premiership Football League match for today. So as it is in the Bundesliga, we have Freiburg hosting Hoffenheim. Freiburg 1, Hoffenheim 1, and the game ended in that fashion. It was a draw, shared point, 1 apiece between Freiburg and Hoffenheim. Also in Germany, we have FC Cologne hosting Stuttgart. Stuttgart will play a draw, a tie and a checkmate with this Cologne, even at home. And we're still expecting to see Union Berlin hosting Hamburger. Arsenal in the 18-yard of Newcastle right now, trying to get their own goal back. But the referee says, no, there was a handball in there. Oh, Saka has been judged to have fouled, making his body wider using his hand. And that's a foul in the technical parlance of FIFA. So that has been given as a foul to Newcastle, and the game has been stopped for the foul to be taken. So we're looking at Serie A. Serie A is happening right there in the city of, or the town, the country of Italia. In Italy, we have Sassuolo, who led this match against Udinese by 3-1 today, earlier today. Also earlier today, AS Roma would defeat Verona, Hellas Verona by 2-0. And oh, this is so interesting. This is so interesting. The match between Arsenal and Newcastle is just from post to post. Everyone is just looking for that missing goal. And anywhere will do for the defender. And of course, Mosquera will send the ball into touch for a throw-in. Anywhere will do, as long as it's not the goal post. Pisa is hosted Fiorentina, and the game ended in a stalemate, 0-0. Also, Lis is at the 12th minute hosting Bologna, and the goal line is 0-0 right now in Italy. In France, Ligue 1, we have Nice hosting Paris FC, and they played 1-1. And then Angers and Brest are playing right now with Angers 0 and Brest 2. Sometimes they say Brest is actually better when it's in the lead, but right now Brest is in the lead, but it's in the back. It's not in front here, but it's in the lead. And then Lille is hosting Lyon as we speak. Halftime as we speak, 0-1. 0 to Lille, and Lyon leads by 1. Metz is 0. Le Havre is 0 as well. Later tonight, we'll be seeing Rennes playing Lens in the French Ligue 1. And right now, David Raya will send one forward for Arsenal. He will kick a longish one, and it comes to Bukayo Saka. Bukayo will lead one for Timber. What does he do? Timber tries to cross, and he was infringed, and it's been fouled in the 18-yard. The referee says nothing is wrong with that. Wow. That was an obvious foul. But the referee said nothing is wrong. Because Timber was actually dispossessed of the ball because he was hindered from moving. But the referee will say, no, there's nothing wrong about that. Wow. All the way I see this is not looking fair on Arsenal. Not very looking good for Arsenal, because Timbers went down there because he was infringed. But the referee says nothing is wrong with that tackle. Let the game continue. And right now the game has been stopped for a foul to Newcastle Football Club. And Newcastle will restart the game from the position. Bukayo Saka was the man who was acclaimed to have fouled. And a longish one will be thrown to the Arsenal penalty area. But Arsenal will do justice with a longish header. And Keres will try to move the ball forward. Bukayo Saka has a chance to attack. Oh, the men have been returning. Bodies are coming in. Bukayo goes down. The referee says nothing is wrong with that again. And Newcastle will pick the ball and move on forward. Ball comes to Walter Maid. What does he do? Oh, Arsenal will recover the ball quickly. And then we'll have the ball will come to the midfield. Ebere Chieze will send the one up the road. And Arsenal will try to move in. Arsenal has a chance, but no, the ball has been taken from them by the powerful, very powerful block defense of Newcastle. If there's nothing Newcastle has, it is the defense. Their defense is a block type. They are big, they are powerful men in that defense, and they are using all their body weight for advantage against Arsenal right now. So pinning down Gil Kores, not allowing him to move forward. Pinning down Bukayo Saka, not allowing him, as well as Ebere Chieze and Leonardo Trossard. So right now, Ateta is stomping all over the place, moving around looking for solutions. What else can he impart into this game that may change the course of this game? We're yet to find out because the goal line is still 0 to Arsenal and 1 to Newcastle. This game is happening right there at the home of Newcastle, and the whole stadium is filled with noise. The crowd is jubilating. The fans are also happy. As it stands, Newcastle will remain on number 9 position with Arsenal on number 8. Newcastle on number 8, Arsenal on number 9, number 7. Should it end this way? But let's see how it goes. There is still the second half to play. We're now at the injury time of first half. We're now at the injury time awarded, and referee is looking at his whistle, but he's also keeping his eyes on the players and the ball to ensure that fair play is maintained and justice is passed for any wrong tackles. Arsenal will kick the ball around in the midfield, and a chance to attack will come from the right flank, and Declan Rice will look for who to give the ball to, and sends it to the middle. And what happens here? The longest one will come to Bukayo Saka, but intercepted by Newcastle. Newcastle has a chance here to attack Arsenal, and Newcastle will pass the ball back. The goalkeeper might be to the rescue here for Newcastle. What's the hurry anyway? They are leading, and we're now in the injury time of first half. If you can keep the ball right here, let's just go away with a victory in the first half. Even if we won't win the whole thing, let's just go away. And Newcastle will continue to press Arsenal, but Arsenal will look for their goalkeeper. David Raya will pick the ball and give it to Mosquera. Mosquera will bypass Saliba, and then they will give the ball to the midfield. The ball comes back to Mosquera, and he will look for Declan Rice, who comes to collect the ball. And who does he locate? He returns the ball, and the ball comes back to the defense, who will look for someone free to give the ball to, and he sends it back up, and that will be Mosquera, and a sharp one. An attack is being built here. Defensive attack, and Gyökeres has a chance. And the ball comes to Bukayo Saka. Oh, but he had a wrong first touch on that ball. A wrong first touch wasn't good enough, and the ball drops right in the hands of the opponent, and who took a longer shot and sent the ball back to the midfield for Newcastle. So Arsenal will pick it up again and try to build another attack, and the ball will come back to Bukayo. What does Saka do with the ball? Sends it back to the midfield, and midfield will send it, keep in the midfield, and Mosquera has a chance, and he sends the longest one into the 18 of Newcastle, and Newcastle will solve the problem. But the problem is still not solved. Newcastle try and move it quickly. The referee looks at his watch. He looks at the ball. He looks up, and he puts a whistle in his mouth. He wants to blow, but he checks the timer. It still remains 1 or 2 minutes into the additional time expiry for the first half. And then Newcastle has a chance across the longest one, but there was nobody at the end of it. And the ball goes into touch for a throw-in, and the referee will say, "Thank you very much. I've had enough for a first half. Thank you so much." And the referee blows his whistle, and that is the end of the first half of the game between Newcastle and Arsenal. And many are fans of Chelsea and United, and all the enemies of Arsenal are heaving a sigh of relief that Arsenal didn't equalize. But it's only for a while. We say have another 45 minutes coming. You want to see how long they will thank God for in this encounter. Arsenal is not taking it easy, and they are not happy about certain events that took place. Bukayo Saka will have a word with the ref right there at the end of the game, and that foul that wasn't given will not go unnoticed. Ladies and gentlemen, the game is now at halftime. We will take a 5-minute break while you, as much as possible, just keep enjoying our scrolls and our videos. Our short clips are going to be in the air. Put your comments for us and predictions for this match. Put it in our comment section. Let's see what you feel. Okay, let's see your own opinions of this game. Can Arsenal come back from this game? Can they catch up? or we're going to end up with Newcastle getting 3 points in this encounter, and that will be a blow, a very big blow on Arsenal's trophy quest for this season. Put a comment there. Let's see and hear your opinion. You're welcome to Premier Sports Fan Center once again, and we'd love to read from you. In just a few minutes, we will be back shortly. Let's take a 5-minute break, and then we'll return for this match. See you shortly.
Amorim tactics work really.
Thank you very much. So Amorim's tactic is sub-level to Enzo Maresca's tactic. That's what you heard from our wonderful analyst here. Paulo has just given to you. And yeah, might I go straight to you. If one player could make a difference in tomorrow's night, who will it be?
I think you can't think past Cole Palmer and Estevao, Branu, Buemo, then Kwa. I think some of these guys are the key German guys that should come to the party. If any of their teams could want to do something special, then there's João Pedro also.
Wow, João Pedro. So we're looking at Cole Palmer making all the difference, and then Estevao, the young guy from South America, and then João Pedro. So nobody from Man U side for you.
That's what I mentioned. Branu, Buemo, and
I think Kwa is out. I think
Kwa is
injured
just have to
already.
come.
he has been declared fit by the
we'll
coach
have to
few
come.
minutes
Right,
ago.
so we got Kunga as an addition to the United squad. That's good news for Red Devils all over the world. And this feature has been one of the Premier League most iconic, from Mourinho versus Ferguson. Mind games from minute to minute, drama all over the place. It has always carried so much weight. Fans still debate whether this rivalry is underappreciated compared to United versus Liverpool and Chelsea versus Arsenal. Now let's take it from here. Now, where does Man U and Chelsea rank among the top rivalries in EPL? Chelsea, Man U.
I think when you look at the rivalries, I don't think it's even 1 to 3 rivalries in England. I think even Chelsea Arsenal is way more expected.
Interesting.
So when you look at it, there's Man U Arsenal. Okay, there's first Liverpool Man U. There's also Man U Arsenal. There is Chelsea Liverpool, Chelsea Arsenal. There's Man U Man City. You know those games. So I think it's not one of those German rivalries.
Okay,
just
so
two big club clash.
Right. Thank you, Paulo. So we're looking at which of them is your favorite? What's your favorite or most unforgettable United versus Chelsea moment ever in the history of EPL?
I'm trying to remember the season again. I remember there was this particular match. Chelsea were, I think, 3-0 up, and eventually ended 3-3. You know, and I couldn't forget that game. You know,
that was in the early 2000s.
I think it was during the Fergu era also, but that game was so very, very tough. You know, unbelievable one. You know, I was thinking, Chelsea already got all 3 points, but you know, from nowhere up to today, a lot of Chelsea fans are still accusing the referee, which I'm trying to also remember his name, of being biased, towards them, and he made everything possible that Manchester United had to come from 3 goals down to level that game. I'll definitely try and remember the season and let our viewers.
Right, so you heard it from Polo, you heard it from Yemite, and right now let's zoom in straight in on Chelsea. Since Todd Boehly took over Chelsea, it's been a wild ride, record-breaking spending, managerial changes, and a squad overhaul, and a focus on young talent. But now, under Maresca, the question is whether Chelsea are finally building a long-term identity or still stuck in transition. So now, here's the thing here. There's a talent everywhere, and Chelsea's squad is full of talent. Enzo Maresca, Cole Palmer, João Pedro, Enzo Fernandez, pardon me, and Cole Palmer, João Pedro, the other Neto, Pedro Neto, and wonderful Estavio. But fans still wonder if there's enough leadership and balance, and Chelsea building a title-winning core or just collecting players. Yeah, Matt, I'm going to go straight at you, and I know you have a lot of affinity for Chelsea here. Are Chelsea finally on the right track with their project under Maresca, or do we still wait to see the Chelsea we want to see?
I think Chelsea is on the right track. One thing that is just missing is that big leadership that since Thiago Silva left has been missing. So, but I think despite the fact that the leadership is not as much as you expect, they are not doing badly. I think, but one thing another we can also mention is you can grow into leadership. You can have guys, you see, guys like Tosin now are beginning to grow more into that role, because it's like almost the oldest guy in the squad. Guys like Reece James too, as the captain, is trying to live up to Enzo Fernandez. So with time, I think that it will come good.
Right, so which player is Chelsea's real leader on the pitch, and do they have enough personalities to compete at the top level? Paulo?
Well, I think it's no other than the captain himself, Reece James, because if you look at the Chelsea squad, I don't think there's anybody that has made more appearance for Chelsea, and as a overall, I think he has more appearance, for as a player for among the old Chelsea, players. So they look up towards him, as a real leader. He's been there since a very long time with Chelsea. I think it's from even the academy. Yes. So no any other person other than him, and probably might look like at also Enzo Fernandez. But I think Enzo Fernandez, is too, is it temperamental, for him to be, the real leader there. But I think it's Reece James.
No, when you mention temperament, maybe you are talking about Bruno Fernandes.
No, Enzo too.
Enzo is not temperamental. If there's one player that is temperamental in Chelsea, it's not Enzo.
Where?
I think that's maybe he's trying to say Bruno.
No, I know what I'm saying.
I know what I'm saying about Enzo.
I don't. Okay, for instance, if you check how many yellow card or red card,
it's not just about being yellow card only.
If you
see the way
if you have temper issues in football, you will get a lot of cards.
But not all. But we've seen the likes of Pepe, playing,
Pepe has a lot of red and yellow cards.
Pepe does not have too many red cards.
He has a lot of yellow cards.
Which even Casemiro.
Real Madrid has always been a sacred
No. I don't agree, because Sergio Ramos too was a Madrid player and is the player with the highest number of red cards.
Yeah, so let's talk about Pepe. What about Pepe?
Okay, so guys, we're going to run that debate forever if we stay there. Enzo Fernandez is one leader we have in Chelsea after Reece James, and as it is right now, I think Enzo Fernandez commands more playing time than Reece James now. Yemi, do you think Reece James is dropping in performance, or the coach is just can't find a place to put him all the time?
It's not that. Reece James the coach is trying to manage time, playing time with him, because he has shown to have a lot of injury record history, and also the coach is just trying to be sensitive with managing his minutes. Not really big of a deal.
All right, so guys, you heard it from us right here from the studio for the first time ever. Premier Sports Fans in that says that Reece James is not receding in quality. Reece James is just being managed. The coach is trying to manage. He has several quality players, and then he has to put some on the bench and keep some
strong legs for EPL, for Carabao, for FA Cup, and then for Champions League. So it's not about how many of them he plays together. He can field more than 11 players at a time. Chelsea, we've always known, have always been a club associated with ambition, fat success, and ruthless decisions. Some argue that what made them great, others think it's holding them back right now. Do Chelsea need to be patient with Maresca or to build about building something lasting, or is it the ruthless approach that Ibrahimovic used to apply to Chelsea that is still going to work here?
First off, you are saying Pepe didn't get it. Pepe got 17 red cards, and is small. And he also got 210 yellow cards.
Okay, so that's let's go to Chelsea.
Back to Chelsea. I don't know where this conversation of Enzo is coming from, because he's current world champion. So if you talk about success, he has been successful already. So he just needs to build on the success he has had. So I don't think that if there's any manager that's close to exit, there is no Enzo Maresca.
So you believe his job is secure right now?
Very secure.
And he can as well keep building. Polo, in 5 years, do you see Chelsea as Premier League title favorite again, or they will still remain in transition in another 5 years?
It depends on how the transition continue to grow, because we've seen with Manchester United, since Sir Alex Ferguson left, they've been in transition from one manager to another. It depends.
11 years now.
Yeah, it depends. So because if you let Enzo Maresca go, you are bringing in another manager. That means you are starting another phase of transition. So it depends. If Chelsea is still going to stick with Enzo Maresca, I don't think 5 years is too much. He's been there for a year now, and if you are still going to stick with him with the next 2-3 seasons, I think they should be in the conversation for it.
Wow, so you'll hear it from us right here. So you can put your comments in the comment section. You can put it on YouTube. You can put that on Facebook. Watch us and share. Like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends about Premier Sports Fan Center. Right now, we move straight to the next topic here. Arsenal versus Manchester City preview. Roll the drums. We know Manchester City has won so many EPL in the last 10 years, and Arsenal is yet to win so many of them, or perhaps one. Anyway, Sunday's blockbuster sees Arsenal hosting Manchester City, a match that could have serious implications. And Arsenal are looking sharp this season, with Arsenal's Arteta's maturing and adding depth, while City are dealing with a growing list of injury. But they remain contentious, in the competition, because under Guardiola, you can't predict. Anything can happen. This fixture has become the new title rivalry over the past 2 seasons, and we've seen Arsenal, City deciding where the League Cup goes. Arsenal's new midfield looks dominant, and their defense has been solid. City, in the meantime, have shown vulnerability with injuries, and key players like John Stone, Al Nouri, Ryan Shirk. Welcome back right here on Premier Sports Fan Center. My name again is Yinka Adeguyi. They call me the Doc around here. And we are talking. This is a live talk-along sports show. And we're watching along and we're talking. And we want you to join us in the talk. We want you to join us in the conversation going on. The match is between Newcastle United and Arsenal Football Club of London. And these guys are slugging it out right here. And Newcastle is at home here. And for your information, Arsenal is down by 1-0. And Newcastle leads this encounter at the 45th minute mark of the first half.
And now the second half is about to begin, and Arsenal is regrouping as the coaches decided to make some changes. We will find out shortly, but the referee is yet to blow his whistle for the start of the second half. While we're waiting for that, something happened in the Nigerian Premier League. Barrow FC has just scored the second goal against their host Kun Khalifa right there in the Nigerian Premiership. And Nasarawa United has won ahead of Katsina United at the 67th minute of the game. Warri Wolves is still leading Shooting Stars Football Club by 1-0, and Wiki Tourist has 2 goals against Enugu Rangers. And Newcastle has a chance to score a second. And no! So close. That was so close. Walter made again, and the referee has lifted his flag anyway. So it wouldn't have counted even if he went in. But that was so close a chance. Walter had a chance to double the lead for Newcastle, but he kicked the ball and didn't get the right direction for it. The ball just went above the. He just went on the crossbar and bounced off out into touch. But the flag of the referee, the assistant referee, has been raised for an offside. And the game has continued, and Walter made his ruin his losses right now. And he was thinking, that could have been doubled. And now Newcastle will try again. But Arsenal will have nothing to do than to play police ball here. Kicking the ball up and down without any specific direction. Anywhere will do. That's what Arsenal is doing right now. Newcastle is in control of this game. They're taking the second half pressure to Arsenal. They're taking the attack all the way to Arsenal. And right now, they're still attacking Arsenal. And Newcastle will throw a longish one into the half of Arsenal. Arsenal will defend with a header. Newcastle will get the ball again and push it back. And Walter will chase one against Gabriel, who will send it to his left back. Alefore will kick a longish one into touch again. Anywhere will do. Police football Arsenal is playing. This is unlike the Arsenal that we used to know. Arsenal that we know puts the ball on the floor and plays as patiently as possible, building up. But right now, Arsenal is playing boom, 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 like they say. We're playing in like two school, which was a former name for football. What they called it right there from China when it was first developed in China, when they first started football in China. And as it is right now, Newcastle still leads the game by 1-0. Goal scorer, Walter Made, the German international, the German top striker, who will put one into the goal net of Arsenal here by a controversial header, which Gabriel Manganese will claim was a push on him, but the referee will not take that. He said the push was too light. The contact was but a light one. And the game continues. And as we watch this, the African Champions League qualifying rounds is going on as we speak in so many countries of Africa right now. Yesterday, we saw, 2 days ago, we saw Remo Stars defeating their counterparts and getting that chance to play in the group stage of the African Champions League by defeating their opponents by 5-0, 4-0 right here in Ijebu, in Keneremo, and then another 1-0 out there in Djibouti. And Remo Stars have been qualified right now to go into the group stage for Champions League in Africa. Also contending for Nigeria in this stage is Rivers United. Rivers United is leading Angles do Congo by 1-0 right now in Port Harcourt. They played a 0-0 stalemate while away in Congo. And now at home in Port Harcourt, Rivers United leads by 1-0. The game is at the 81st minute in that African Champions League qualifying round encounter. Rivers United is the second flag bearer for Nigeria after Remo Stars, who came first and won the trophy of the Nigerian NPFL for last season. Rivers will come second in that encounter for last season MPFL. And both of them seem to be looking like qualifying for the group stage of African Champions League for 2025 and 26. Back to Arsenal Newcastle. Saka will tease one to his teammate Timber, and Timber will send it to the midfield. And the midfielders who roll the ball around. The ball comes to Eberechi. What does he do with the ball? No, the ball comes back to the midfield and back to the defender. Will send the ball. And what does the defense line do? They will send the ball across again. And the ball comes to Calafore. He takes a run. Crosses one into the 18 of Newcastle. But that header from Hilcores was just too poor. It was just not in the right direction. It was a nod towards the corner flag. And the ball will go into touch for a goal kick for Newcastle United Football Club. The referee says there was a contact there. And there's a corner kick awarded to Arsenal. And surprise, surprise, surprise. Hey, this is a serious surprise. Right where we were talking about Arsenal, the Shooting Stars Football Club of Ibadan has gone ahead to equalize the Warri Wolves match. Shooting Stars has scored to equalize the match against Warri Wolves, and Shooting Stars has scored a second one to lead the match, all within a space of 2 minutes. Shooting Stars FC has scored 2 goals against Warri Wolves, and by the 86th minute of this game, Shooting leads by 2-1. What a turnaround, what a comeback. This is a huge comeback against Warri Wolves that we know them to be spoilers. They may not win you, but they will not allow you to win. They will not come top, but they will not allow you to get top. But Shooting Stars Football Club of Ibadan is saying no here, and they're challenging Warri Wolves, and Shooting's lead by 2-1 right here in Warri, Delta State, Nigeria. The names of the goal scorers are yet to be announced, and I will give that to you as we move on. Also in Spain, the match between Barcelona Football Club, FC Barca, has started versus Real Sociedad. The match is going on at the Ciutat Esportiva de Olympics, the Olympic Stadium in Barcelona. That's where that match is being played right now. Barca is hosting Real Sociedad. The game is at the 14th minute now, and goal line is 0-0. Recall that Real Madrid lost their first game yesterday. They had their first loss in this league encounter. They have played 6 matches and won 6 times. They had 18 points to their name. But yesterday, Atletico Madrid, their Rojo Blancos, as they call themselves, because they have white and red in their colors, showed the Los Blancos, the white Real Madrid. They showed them pepper yesterday, and they defeated them woefully at that Metropolitano Stadium, Wanda Metropolitano they call it, by 5-0. 5-0. You could see Barcelona fans celebrating like they were Rojo Blancos. Meanwhile, they are just low blaugranas on their own. However it is, Real Madrid was peppered yesterday. They were not kings of anything yesterday, because the Atletico Madrid boys took them to the cleaners. 5-2. Real Madrid was beaten yesterday by Atletico Madrid, and Diego Simeone got so much accolade from the fans. In fact, the fans were bearing his name all over the place, celebrating him for giving them victory against their Aka City rival. That was a derby that Real Madrid has dominated over 100 years of encounter. But recently, Atletico Madrid has come back under Diego Simeone to fight Real Madrid seriously. And in the last 4 encounters, Madrid is yet to defeat Atletico Madrid. The best they've had was draw. And yesterday, Atletico proved it again by defeating Real Madrid 5-2, humbling them. Moving up the ladder to the 4th place was Atletico, with Madrid opening up against possible overtaking by FC Barcelona. Should FC Barcelona win against the Real Sociedad tonight, then FCB will move ahead of Real Madrid by a point and many goal differences. 1 point ahead of Real Madrid will just be enough to move into the first position by FC Barca. But should Barca play a draw, they will remain in second place. The Real Sociedad is not an easy side to crack for Barca. They have always been a tough one for the Anointans whenever they face the Blaugranas from Barcelona. So this promises to be a tough encounter. It's now at the 16th minute and the game line, the goal line is still reading 0-0. A yellow card has just been given to Calafiori in this game against between Arsenal and Newcastle. Calafiori actually put himself in the way of that Newcastle player, and the referee will not hear that, but will penalize him with a yellow card. And Calafiori has one to his name right now, and he's not very happy about it. Shaking his head all about and he's saying, no, that was just a friendly tackle. I loved him so much I had to hug him. But the referee will not take it, and they will give him a card. And now Newcastle has a chance to attack Arsenal from a dangerous position with a free kick. They have a chance to kick one into the 18 of Arsenal right now and contend for it. And remember, they still have their tall man, their wonderful, superb header, Walter Mead, who towers well above 6 feet 5 inches, and the longest one comes in as Newcastle has a chance, but no. Between Gabriel and his brother Saliba, they will say no. This one is not going anywhere. Arsenal will defend that seriously, and Newcastle will have a chance to build again. Newcastle goes in, and oh my God, that was a beautiful shot from Joe Linton. Joe Linton sends a beautiful shot, a grounder that was whoozing just across the goal post. David Raya had no chance at it because that was rather far from him, but the ball was just curving away from the goal line and out into touch for a goal kick for Arsenal. Arsenal will restart quickly. There's no time to waste time here. Arsenal will keep the ball going, and Newcastle will send this one into touch for a throw into Arsenal Football Club. Game time right now. Arsenal, between Newcastle and Arsenal, is 57 minutes. And Newcastle is attacking again, but the goalkeeper, David Raya, will be there to defend that. And Gyökeres will run challenging Nick Pope here. But Pope will get to the ball first, send the longish one back into the Arsenal area. Arsenal will rebuild here, and will try to launch another attack while Newcastle is waiting on their half. The Newcastle players are not in a hurry to mark in Arsenal side. They are keeping the pressure on their side of the field, allowing Arsenal to play as long as they want on their own side. But the moment Arsenal crosses the line, the ball comes the longest one to Saka, but Newcastle will be there to head it off. The defender will send it off, and now Declan Rice will go for the throw-in. He wants to send it out, and the throw-in comes to Saka. Saka will give it back, and Arsenal will try to build again from the midfield. Ebere, Eze, and the ball will come to Calafiori. Calafiori will send a longish one, a trickish one here. But that was a poor pass from Ebere, Eze, and Arsenal will try again to build the attack. Calafiori with the ball sends one into the midfield. The ball will come to Rice. What does Rice do? Is he cooking? He looks for Saka, and Saka will get the ball. Saka will try and return the ball to Timber. Timber will advance. Rice will move, and Arsenal has a chance to build here. And cheeky one. Arsenal gets. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my goodness! Arsenal came so close to getting one back. A cheeky one there, and a header to it. But goalkeeper Nick Pope would deny Arsenal once more. Oh, that was a last-ditch save by Nick Pope, who put a very, very tiny hand to the ball. And Arsenal will try again. Header. Arsenal with a chance. What a defense here.
The Newcastle defense is not taking it easy here. There's a last stage block going on here. They are ensuring that nothing goes past them, not even to get to the goalkeeper. Let's cross the line. And I can see all Arsenal fans have to check they need to check their underwear to be sure they are not wet. Because so many of them are sitting on things they don't understand. They are pissing in their various pants as we speak. They are sweating all over their body, and the temperature is generally high. Arsenal fans, oh my Arsenal, and Newcastle fans are all noisy about the place. They are so glad things are going the way they are, and they are enjoying every bit of this encounter as the club is making the fans really proud. At home, they are delighting their pride of their fans. And Arsenal is under pressure here, and Newcastle will pick the ball once again and send it back to Nick Pope, the goalkeeper. And back there in Spain, Elche has scored the second goal and has defeated Celta Vigo by 2-1 in Spain. Elche, bottom table Elche, has won that game against Celta Vigo 2-1. And earlier in the day, Sevilla defeated Rayo Vallecano by 1-0. Also in Spain, in the Spanish La Liga. Right now, the game between Warri Wolves and Shooting Stars is still at the 95th minute as we speak. 5 minutes into injury time. And Shooting Stars leads by 2-1. And the game between Wiki Tourists and Enugu Rangers is now at 2-2, 2 apiece. Enugu Rangers has put one back into the net of Wiki Tourist. And Ikorodu City started the game 19 minutes ago and is leading Enyimba by 2-0 already in the 20th minute. Ikorodu City is whooping Enyimba Football Club, and Arsenal has a chance. Arsenal in the 18-yard of Newcastle. They're short of ideas now. They're trying to build another one, and Arsenal will look for a way to penetrate this heavily concentrated defense, and Newcastle will send that again out of their area. Go back to the sender, they say. As we say in this balance, you have no place here. All arrows fired by Arsenal back to the sender. That's what Newcastle is doing here. And Arsenal doesn't know how to break that wall of defense of Newcastle. And still talking about the Nigerian Premiership, Ikorodu City 2 goals, Enyimba 0. And we have Kun Khalifa. Kun Khalifa is a newly promoted club that plies their trade in the southeast of Nigeria. And they're playing against Barau, which is also a newly promoted club. And Kun Khalifa is playing at home against Barao, but Kun Khalifa is under by 1-3. Barao FC is beating Kun Khalifa, white and black and blue and all forms of color right there in the southern east of Nigeria. Right there, the hosts are suffering. 1-3, and the game has just been called off for the final whistle has been blown, and the game is over. Arsenal will have a chance, and last stage defense again, a longish tackle. Anything, anywhere will do. Arsenal will come again and try to attack. They are not relenting, and they are not letting Newcastle rest. They will try and get this back on even grounds, and Newcastle will make sure that it doesn't happen. And Arsenal will try to get it again while Newcastle keeps fighting. As I said, the game between Warri Wolves and Shooting Stars has just been called off. The game has ended, and Shooting Stars Football Club of Ibadan has defeated Warri Wolves right there in Warri, and that is a stunner. That was unexpected. Arsenal has a chance, but they lose the ball again to Newcastle right there at the Newcastle. And Newcastle advance right now. Newcastle, they will turn in defenses to attack, and it faces the goalkeeper, and it takes a blind shot, which was blocked by no other but Declan Rice, who followed the player right from the front line back to his goal post. He refused to stop, and he continued to press on that player until he was able to defend the shot for a corner kick to Newcastle. And Arsenal can regroup
while they take and prepare for that corner kick. Goal line still remains Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. Time now for this game and this encounter. We have now entered the hour mark for this game right now between Arsenal and Newcastle. Newcastle will take a cross quickly, but Arsenal players will send it running out. The game time for Arsenal is now 65 minutes. And Newcastle will send the longest one. A chance for Newcastle. And Arsenal will block, defend. But Newcastle has a chance again. And Arsenal will stand in the way. Arsenal will take a longish one out. But Newcastle will be there to pick the pieces. They're not going to take any chances against these red and white boys. And they're making sure that these gun boys don't get to shoot at them. The gunners will likely take their guns home without taking a shot at all this particular encounter. So on the touchline, we have players waiting to come in for this encounter. Arsenal had already made some changes at halftime. I'll be getting you the names of the players who were changed. And that's what we do here from Premier Sports Fan Center. We get you up-to-date information, highlights. At the halftime, we had William Saliba coming in for Mosquera. Mosquera was substituted for Saliba, and Mosquera has been on the bench. That happened at the 46th minute. And also, Newcastle has just made some changes. Walter made the goal scorer for Newcastle, has just been replaced by another player, and 2 other players are coming in. It's a triple change for Newcastle as they bring in some of their, take out some of their tired legs, and they are replaced right now. The tired legs are being replaced right now, and we'll give you full information of the new players who are coming in. Walter Mid is out. He's been changed for William Osula. William Osula will come in for Walter Mid in this encounter, and the game continues right there. On the bench for Newcastle, we still have players that can make changes to the scoreline. Impact players. Kieran Trippier is there. Kieran Trippier, we know Trippier used to play for Atletico Madrid. Jamal Lasayes, Harvey Barnes, Emil Kraft. William Osula has just been made to come in for Walter Maid. And Anthony Elanga is also on the bench. Joe Willock, Aaron Ramsdale, the second goalkeeper and former Arsenal goalkeeper, is also on the bench. And Louis Miley is also on the bench for Newcastle. And Arsenal will try to attack again from the midfield, but Newcastle will solve that problem very easily by just pushing the player down slightly and muscling him off the ball, and Newcastle will lose the ball to Arsenal again. Now let's take a look at Arsenal's bench and those that can affect the outcome of this game should they be called on. We have Saliba, who has been introduced at the 46th minute. He came in to replace Mosquera. As much as the coach had faith in developing or giving game time to new players, I think he thought it was time. They brought in their best leg, and Saliba was brought in for Mosquera. And then Ben White is also on the bench. Martin Odegaard, we know, is just recovering from an injury, and the coach is managing his game time. He was there during the week in their encounter. And Arsenal with a chance, and the chance for Arsenal. That was a miss from Hal Corres. Corres had a chance. His first touch gave him away. He controlled the ball, stopped the ball, but the first touch gave him away. He was just in the legs of the opponent, who tapped the ball right out into touch for a corner kick. Oh, the first touch was the problem. And we still have Martin Odegaard on the bench. And we also have Martinelli
Gabriel Martinelli, keeper Arrizabalaga, Christian Norgard, Mikel Moreno, Miles Lewis-Kelly, and Max Dowman are all on the bench. And right now, Arsenal has just replaced their talisman here, their left footer, right winger, Bukayo Saka has been replaced by Gabriel Martinelli has come in right now for Bukayo Saka. And right there in Spain, a surprise goal has just taken place. Real Sociedad has just scored a goal against Barcelona. That's not the expectation for so many viewers and fans all over the world. The game is not looking good. It just turned around. With Sociedad scoring and drawing the first blood against Barca right there at the Ciutat Esportiva, the Olympic Stadium. Arsenal with a chance. Oh, that was a sweeping shot that went right across the goal post. Oh, pretty ambitious. Very lovely shot from Gyökeres, but it swung just across the goal post for a corner kick to Arsenal. Oh my God. Declan Rice will stand on that. It takes a longish one into the 18, and Nick Pope will pick that up quickly, and he will throw. We'll try and do a quick one for Newcastle, and the game will continue. Newcastle will play out while Arsenal watches. And for me, I think Arsenal is still going to introduce players like Martin Odegaard into this game, and will likely take out Berechi Eze, and Arsenal will likely bring in as well Dowman later into the game. But as it is, Arsenal has already made 3 changes. Mikel Moreno had been thrown into the game for Ricardo Calafori. And what it means is Merino will step into the midfield, and Arsenal will change their formation to a 3-man defense instead of playing a 4-man defense, because Merino is going to be joining the attack right there for Arsenal. So Arsenal has 2 more changes they could make. Anthony Elanga has also been thrown into the game by Newcastle, and he replaced Anthony Gordon and Anthony for another one. And Kieran Trippier has been introduced for Jacob Murphy to play his trade on the right flank as well. Talking about managing the game, managing the players, and working on game time. Goal line between Barcelona and Real Sociedad remains 0-1, with Sociedad leading by 1 against the host Barcelona. We know Barca to be experts are coming back. Recall that last week Barca was on the back foot, 0-1 against their opponent Oviedo, Real Oviedo, which just got promoted into the the La Liga this season from the second tier, La Liga Secunda. And Real Oviedo scored first, but Barca will come back and score 3 more goals to win that encounter. So Barcelona fans, relax. Don't be perturbed. We know your club. They don't do well with defending. They come back very well. Even with 2 goals ahead and 20 minutes to play, don't give up on Barcelona. Bookmakers, that advice was for you. And right now the game has been brought to a stop as a Newcastle player is injured and on the floor. He's calling for medical attention, and is there being attended to right there at the my God. This game is now at the 74th minute. 74th minute being played right now. The Newcastle still leading Arsenal by 1-0. And Eddie Howe, the Newcastle coach, is looking satisfied. Is looking very confident, and is flying his wings like that of a cockroach that has just fallen into water. And Eddie Howe thinks
if he goes and ends this way, it will be good for the club and it will be good for his job. While Mikel Arteta is not smiling. Let's look at the kind of injuries and the players with injuries in these two sides. For Newcastle United, we have Jan Wieser, Fabian Schär, and Jacob Ramsey injured and not available for the game, while for Arsenal we'll have their most recent talisman from the right, Noni Madueke, injured with a knee injury. And Gabriel Jesus has been out for so long, cruciate ligament, virtually a whole season on the injury. Kai Havertz has also been out since the beginning of the season. He didn't start the season with Arsenal at all, and he has a knee injury. And also Piero Hincapié, the new player just purchased, signed by Arsenal, is also out with groin injury. And right now, the coaches are still looking at what they can change. They're looking at who they can bring in that may affect the outcome of this game. And Newcastle is looking at replacing their injured player being attended to by another one who is actually dressing and ready to come on the field. And let's look at what's going on at other centers while we're nursing the injured player here. Aston Villa earlier defeated Fulham by 3-1. Freiburg in Germany played a draw with Hoffenheim 1-1. Cologne and Stuttgart played a stalemate draw as well. And Union Berlin is yet to play against Hamburger. Sassuolo defeated Udinese earlier by 3-1 in the Serie A. AS Roma defeated Hellas Verona by 2-0. Pisa played a draw with Fiorentina 0-0. And Leeds is at it, slugging it out with Bologna 1-1 at the 47th minute. That game is going on. Later tonight, we expect to see AC Milan play Napoli. That's going to be a tough match with the San Siro boys hoping to draw a pound of flesh against Napoli, the league winners for last season. Napoli has won the league about 2 times in 4 years right now. And AC Milan will try to upset that and change the scheme of things. They will try to rewrite that tonight. And Napoli will try to keep their track and continue to move forward. So we expect to see a cracker there from 7:45 p.m. Nigerian time or West African time. You can check for that match. It's on. It's going to be a very serious blow and encounter. It's going to be a cracker of an encounter. Arsenal has a chance to attack right now. Arsenal plays one carelessly to the hands, into the legs of Newcastle. David Raya will step out even up to the midfield to try and touch that. And Arsenal just lost the ball, so it's throwing to Newcastle once again. Arsenal, oh Arsenal, Arsenal, oh Arsenal, Arsenal, Arsenal. Let's go to Ligue 1 right now. And Nice has played a draw with Paris FC, the newly promoted Paris FC. And Angers and Brest are slugging it out. Angers is still 2 goals down to Brest. Brest leads by 2. Angers is on 0. Lille on 0 and Lyon 1. And Metz has defeated Le Havre by 0. They played a draw with Le Havre 0-0 in that encounter. Later tonight, we'll see Rennes play Lens at 7:45 p.m. West African time. And in the Eredivisie, the Dutch league going on in Netherlands. Eredivisie, Nek Nijmegen has defeated AZ Alkmaar by 2-1. FC Groningen lost to Feyenoord. Oh my goodness. Feyenoord looks like they're ready to clinch this trophy back after 2 seasons of winning it. They might want it back. And Slot was the last coach that coached Feyenoord to win that trophy 3 seasons ago. And Feyenoord is now back at the top of the table, winning week in, week out. And they have just won 3 points again today against FC Groningen. Away from home. I would say. And that counts a lot for Feyenoord with their conquest to pick up the Eredivisie this season. FC Utrecht played the draw with Heerenveen 2-2, while Telstar played 4-2 against Go Ahead Eagles right there in Netherlands at the Eredivisie. Of course, we know that at the Turkey League, Kayaspor defeated Istanbul Basaksehir 2-1. Rizaspor lost to Kasimpasa 1-2. Fenerbahce is slugging it out with Antalyaspor 0-0 as we speak. And Kayserispor is 0 with Gelenberigi 0-0. In Portugal, Alvacar has defeated Victoria de Guimarães 2-0. SC Braga is on 0, while Nacional has 1. The game is only at the 14th minute. And we know what happens later in the league. We are still looking at what's going on in other parts of Europe right now and all the parts of the world in football. Let's go to the Belgian League. The Belgian Pro League, Saint-Tridin has lost to Genk 1-2. Cercle Brugge lost to Ghent. The first was Genk, and the next one is Ghent. Gent defeated Cercle Brugge by 4-2. And Sporting Charleroi lost, is losing 0 to KV Mechelen 0-2. The game is at the 43rd minute. Arsenal with a chance in the 18 of Newcastle. And what a last stage defense once more. Oh, this is desperate defending from Newcastle. The boys are putting all the bodies in front of the ball. And your Corres didn't have a clear chance at goal. He attempted to take the shot, but oh my God, he slipped. He actually slipped. So much tugging and pushing out there. And I believe that was a foul, but the referee says nothing is wrong with that. This is of concern to me as the referee doesn't seem to award free kicks to Helcores as well as Arsenal players when they are being infringed on physically. Anyway, the game is still going on between Arsenal and Newcastle, and we're looking at ending or rounding this up in the next 10 minutes. The game is running close to the end right now. We're now at the 88th-minute mark, and Newcastle almost had another chance to score, but Arsenal defense will take that away. And they will try to control play. The goalkeeper, David Raya, will collect the ball. And it takes a longish one to his midfielder, who will try and fight his way out. But Newcastle boys all over the place, climbing real hard. And yes, talking about champions of Spain. Talking about league winners of Spain. Talking about that giant that has been challenged by the Los Blancos. These ones are called Lo Blaugrana. These ones are called Football Club Barcelona. They are not called that name for nothing. And Barcelona FC has just equalized the goal that Real Sociedad scored earlier. And the goal scorer here is Koundé. Oh, Koundé. The defender from the right back has just put one in for Barcelona. And game time is 44th minute. And the equalizer has been scored. Arsenal has a chance. Oh, boy. But all the bodies are in there. About 6 white and black shirts of Newcastle were standing in between the ball, the goalpost, and Arsenal players. Even when Arsenal had a chance to cross, these low blockers are not going to allow it to happen. Oh, yes, Newcastle is doing everything possible to make sure the game ends this way. So, Barcelona 1, Real Sociedad 1. Arsenal still 0. Newcastle 1. Arsenal with a chance. Arsenal with a goal. Arsenal with a goal. It was a goal from across. And the goal was called by Mikel Merino.
Merino, the newcomer, put that in for Arsenal from a cross here. A cross will come from Declan Rice, and Merino will put his head to it. And the goalkeeper had no chance at all. He had no solution. He had nothing to say about it. And the ball goes straight into the net at the far corner. And a clap, a roar, and jubilation for Arsenal Football Club here. A draw it is right now. It is a tie. It is a stalemate. 1-1. Newcastle United 1. Arsenal Football Club 1. And now it is game on. Oh my goodness. This is a very superb, interesting, dynamic match. Newcastle fighting again. They're trying to get their lead back. The ball comes into the 18 of Arsenal. Newcastle takes a shot. Deflected. Arsenal deflected it. The defenders of Arsenal, precisely, William Saliba went down, put his leg and body in the way. Newcastle has another chance here. They will try to penetrate the defense of Arsenal. And what do? They're still turning and spinning. Arsenal will not allow it. And Newcastle has a chance to cross. The cross. And Newcastle still has the ball. And Arsenal will put a head to it. And that's that will be Saliba pushing the player and the ball out into touch. And the referee will stop play. What for? I don't know. Oh, Arsenal had a hand to the ball. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Gabriel Manganese put up his hand while going down. That was a natural position, but the referee seemed to have been called to look at the VAR for that. The VAR is checking the handball by Gabriel Manganese. Oh my God, what an encounter here. What an ill luck for Arsenal. Did Gabriel do that intentionally? How could he have gone down with his hand not up? The hand goes up in balance when you're going down. That is the natural sequence. When you're going down, your hands remain up for a balance. But the referee decides here and says, we're looking at the camera, we're checking it out, and VAR is still checking. What would they choose? The referee says no penalty. His hand was in a natural position. And a yellow card has been given to the bench of Newcastle for that. For contesting the referee's decision, one of the technical crew of Newcastle has just been yellow carded by the referee. The center man says, you can't challenge my decision. I didn't give the penalty against you earlier, so you should respect my opinion here. And Arsenal has just introduced another player. The defender comes in. Lewis Kelly has just stepped into the game to replace one of their own. Let's find out who Lewis Kelly is replacing right here. Okay, Leonardo Trossard steps out and Lewis Kelly will come in. I think Arteta will try to defend this and go away with this draw rather than lose. If that penalty had been given... if that penalty had been given, that would have been a serious blow on Arsenal, considering their fighting and their recovery. They come back. Oh, they scored their own goal at the 84th minute, and the penalty was awarded at the 87th minute, but overturned by VAR. VAR overturned the penalty. And Arsenal will breathe once again. Arsenal has a chance here. The game is now at the 89th minute, 1 minute into regulation time. Arsenal contending the ball, anxious for the whistle. They want to see if they will get one more or prevent Newcastle from getting another one. And we are now at the 89th minute of the game between Newcastle Football Club and Arsenal Football Club. Newcastle United, pardon me, and Arsenal Football Club of London. The goals apiece. They have one goal apiece. One by Walter Maid at the 34th minute. The other one by Merino at the 84th minute. Nick Pope, the goalkeeper of Newcastle, will stand on this and it will take a longish one into Arsenal dangerous position. And Arsenal boys will try and pick the ball. They want to send it out far away as possible from the goal area. And Arsenal is moving forward. And right there in Spain, the first half is over between FC Barcelona and Real Sociedad. The first half ended at 1-1. 5 minutes is been added here as added time for Arsenal versus Newcastle. The player still has, they still have 5 more minutes to contend here in the list, depending on the referee. And the fight going on there between the players. Oh my God, this is also interesting. So interesting. How many minutes were added? 8 minutes were added to the game here. 8 minutes. So let's correct that. It's not 5 minutes anymore. It's 8 minutes. I saw Arteta actually raising his fingers to his boys to maintain. We have 8 minutes to do something. Can get one more goal, then we get 3 points. If we're going to be league leaders, we're going to win the league, we have to win matches like this. And I'm sure he's telling his boys, look, we're not going to settle for a draw and think we have achieved something because we came back. No, we need to win the match. 3 points must come back to the Emirates if we are going to win the league at the end of the season. And now let's go a little bit into what's happening at the African Champions League. And the match between Rivers United Football Club of Port Harcourt, Nigeria, and their opponent, Anglais du Congo, have just ended. And Rivers United has won that encounter by 1-0 on the aggregate. Rivers United have just qualified to be grouped in the group stages for the African Champions League. This is a feat no Nigerian club has achieved for the past 3 or 4 seasons. And Rivers United and Remo Football Club have just achieved that. And that is kudos and big one for these 2 clubs. They're making Nigeria proud in the international scene. And so we celebrate them. And also in that African Champions League, there's so much more going on. And Kenya Police, their match has been postponed against Mogadishu. And Arsenal will have a chance again to attack. Arsenal teasing their opponent. What are they going to do? Cross the ball into the 18? Rather than that, the player just waits. I think Arsenal is rather comfortable with this draw, but I don't think Arteta will like that because I expect urgency, and wayward cross was sent. But Arsenal will pick the pieces one more time. What will they do? Lewis Kelly sends the ball, and what can Kelly do here? A cross comes in for Arsenal, but no, Nick Pope picks the ball up. And Pope will throw a quick one, a longish one to Newcastle. And the ball goes into touch for a throw-in. The player has gone down. I think it's a foul or it is a throw-in awarded. At any rate, we'll wait for the referee to take a decision here. As the Newcastle player claims he has been fouled by the Arsenal player. But the referee is pointing. Yes, the referee has given a foul. A free kick against Arsenal right here at the half point of the field. Center mark of the field. So earlier in the Champions League, we have Nsingizini defeating Simba Bora by 4-1 on the aggregate. Simba SC defeated Gaborone United by 2-1 altogether on the aggregate. And then US Monastir defeated. There's a chance here for Newcastle, but Arsenal goalkeeper will step out quickly, picks the ball, and throws a quick one. And they're attacking. Arsenal is attacking from the flanks, and the ball comes to the midfield. Arsenal will move the ball forward quickly. What will Rice do? Rice will give the ball to And the ball comes back to Rice. What does he do? Passes the ball, and Arsenal with a chance here. Arsenal with a chance. Hey, yeah, that was lost in transit. The Newcastle defender was there. Lewis Kelly had a chance to cross, but he took one too many steps there. And if I just shot the ball in time, the ball might have gone across and will have been a tap in by the Arsenal number 11, Gabriel Martinelli. But it took one step longer than necessary. But Declan Rice has a chance at the corner kick right now to create another one for Arsenal. Rice will take the shot, a corner, but it will be punched by the goalkeeper. Arsenal will take the shot and will be deflected by another player. And Arsenal will try again from the left. A cross comes into the area, and that's straight into the hand of Nick Pope, the goalkeeper of Newcastle. And Arsenal will pick it again and will attack again. Arsenal is doing well in the attack here against Newcastle. Newcastle seem to have, oh my God, and another header. A desperate defending sends that one off into touch for a corner kick for Arsenal. Pretty dangerous, I would say. That was a shot blocked by the Newcastle player with his hand. He made his body large with his hand. I think VAR should be looking into that. The referee should be looking into that because he actually made his body large with that hand. I know that has been goal to Arsenal. That was a goal. Arsenal with the corner kick, and the goal scorer here is William Saliba. Gunners. This is how to win leagues. This is how to win EPL. This is how to become champions. Gunners have done it again in the 96th minute of the game. William Saliba from a set piece, corner kick, and has put one in for Arsenal, making it 2 against Newcastle United. Newcastle is ruined their losses now. They wish the referee had blown the whistle 5 minutes ago, and the game would have ended at 1 apiece. But right now, the Gunners are showing superiority. William Saliba put a head to it. Just a slight nodding, and right there in the net. Oh my goodness. He went and towered way above all defenders, and he just put the ball right beyond the hands of the goalkeeper. And oh no, oh what a joy for Arteta right here. What a joy for Showlight at the studio. What a joy for all the Arsenal fans, and the enemies of Arsenal are pretending, even at the studio here. Oh my God. And Newcastle will not take no for an answer. They say have about 2 minutes to make things happen here. They run at Arsenal. But guess what will happen? They will open up their defenses, and Arsenal will be able to score more goals. That's what usually happens when you're desperate to equalize. And we see Newcastle attacking from the left flank right now. Newcastle has a chance, but the Arsenal defender was right there. Declan Rice went for it. Collected the ball. And Newcastle will try and build again, but Arsenal will be desperate in their defending here. Very desperate. The referee has given a free kick to Newcastle now. And Eddie Howe cannot sit again. Eddie Howe is now the one moving around. Arteta is now the joyful one. Arteta is hopeful. He doesn't want their eyes off any players. He said, keep your eyes on all the players. Make sure none of them goes behind you. A longish one comes into the 18 of Arsenal. A chance for Newcastle. It is a goal mouth contest. Newcastle takes a shot, and that was deflected off the field. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. This is, the referee's checking something. I think they're looking for something here. There might have been a handball or a foul. The referee is looking for something, and
Oh, I think they might be checking for a foul, but no, a corner kick has been awarded. Newcastle with a corner kick, and Arsenal will try desperately to keep that out of their area. Newcastle, Nick Pope will get to the midfield, and the referee has blown his whistle. Ho, ho, ho. The whistle has been blown. Oh, desperate victory here for Gunners. Oh, the Gunners are celebrate all Gunners all over the world. Congratulations, Arsenal. It will have been Newcastle, congratulations. But Newcastle could not hold their own, allowing Arsenal to score at the 84th minute and at the 95th minute. That is not a mark of progressive players. They're supposed to hold their own until the final whistle, but somehow they bungled it and bottled their lead. Oh my goodness. Arsenal came back here, 84th minute and 96th minute. Oh my goodness. Arsenal has won this match. They have 3 points and now they sit second on the log, right behind Liverpool. Breathing on the back of Liverpool right now. 15 points for Liverpool, 13 points for Arsenal from 6 games. Just 2 points behind the league leaders. And Arsenal has 9 goal difference, while Liverpool has only 5 goal difference. Big ups for the Arsenal boys. They were conscientious, they were consistent, and they were so desperate to win this game. They went all out for it, and they won the game. Big ups for Gunners, and congratulations to all Arsenal fans world over. And it is a pity that this is the end of the game, viewers and fans world over. It's also a pity that we'll be ending this broadcast very soon because I've been having so great a time with you people. It's been a wonderful encounter watching the Premiership like this, and such a match day, last match of the day cracker. Super Sunday at that, and that's now showing what they're made of. They are not just called second place for nothing. They retain their second position again. Hopefully they will get the first place this season. We never can tell. If they can continue to be consistent and continue to fight for it, they may just get first place this season. They've been second place for 2 seasons in a row, and in the 3rd season they want to be first place. So let's make it a wrap. Put your comments in our section, in the comment section on our YouTube page. And also, you can punch something in on our Facebook page. Remember to share our pages, Facebook, YouTube, and like our posts. Please like our posts. We want you to like our posts and share them among your friends. Share them on your contact. And we also want you to join us. Subscribe and join Premier Sports Fan Center. With your joining, your subscription, and your comments, we can keep on transmitting this. We can keep on showing all the time, and we can even include much more goodies on the pack if you continue to support the show. I wish you a very lovely evening and a great week ahead of you, and make sure you keep loving football. My name again is Yinka Adebuyi, and from the crew behind the cameras, from Showlight, from Ama, we say have a lovely evening. Bye for now.